With no fuel left in his car, this Palestinian doctor from Gaza travels on his bicycle from one makeshift shelter to another, providing much-needed treatment and medication to displaced patients. Most people left their medicines under the rubble, so we have to visit them in schools and check on them and provide them with treatments for chronic diseases, said 54-year-old Hassan Zain al Din.
وانت عارف الفترة الأخيرة هذه فترة الحرب معظم الحالات أوت للمدارس
lately during the war, many people took shelter in UN schools, thanks to the United Nations for their help. But most people left their medicines under the rubble. So we have to visit them in schools and check on them and provide them with the treatments for chronic diseases, particularly people who have blood pressure and diabetes, because they are more likely to die, especially that there is no accessibility, no transportation, and no fuel to reach the hospitals if their case gets worse.
فيش مواصلات فيش وقود اللي يوصلوا المستشفيات إذا طورت الحالة وخش في غيبوبة أو خش في مشكلة.
He also added that damaged roads and rubble on ground make it harder for him to reach his destination, sometimes resorting to carrying his bike over debris. The enclave suffers from food, water, fuel and medical shortages amid ongoing conflict with Israel.
My car ran out of fuel and I had to leave it in the area I had taken shelter in Burej. I had to buy a bicycle and I traveled for 15 kilometers going back and forth to the Chronic Diseases Center in Gaza to follow up with my patients and check on the patients in UN schools. Sometimes we make home visits to some wounded cases who cannot arrive at the hospital.
After fighters of the Palestinian groups Hamas attacked southern Israel on 7th of October, killing 1,400 people, Israel responded with a total blockade of Gaza, heavy bombardment, and a ground operation. At least 8,525 Palestinians, including 3,542 children, were killed in Israeli strikes on Gaza since October 7, the Gaza Health Ministry says. Israel has vowed to wipe out Hamas, but the civilian death toll in Gaza and the desperate humanitarian conditions have caused great concern across the world.